Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode on the third season of the Hermitcraft server. This is going to be our last episode, and the one before last they said that would be the last episode. And it's not, because I've been reading the feedback on that episode and I feel like I need to do another episode to talk to you guys and also to apologise. I want to say sorry to everyone for the abrupt nature of the last video. I realised when reading all of your feedback that it really just sort of came out of nowhere, all of a sudden bam, it's ending, and I'm going to explain exactly why it happened in that way in this video. I'm also going to answer a lot of your questions, because in the last video we sort of went on a tour and I didn't really answer all the things or anticipate what you would be asking about why it's ended this way. So in this video we're going to walk around and have a little bit of a chat, and I've sort of split it up into three little sections. So the first one, I'm just going to answer a few of various questions based on some of the comments that I got. So one of the ones that I got was that this season's been so short, it's too soon for a reset. This is actually our longest season that we've done. This lasted for around 500 days, whereas the last two seasons were just over a year each. It's actually been, in a way, our most successful Hermitcraft season, and I've got a feeling the next one could be even better, because it's always about looking forward and looking up, and there's an energy right now for the next season, and I am really excited for it. Now, a lot of you have been asking about a map download. When's that going to be available? Did mention it towards the end of the last video, but I'll mention it in the beginning of this one. It's going to be available on the day that the new series starts, which is when 1.9 is released. So on the day that Season 4 starts, you'll be able to download this map right here. Now, the other thing I've got to address is the issue with shaders. A lot of you are watching the video, and obviously you saw how laggy it was. Some of you thought it might be your own system. No, it was the video that I uploaded which was laggy, and I didn't get to see this or know about it until I read your feedback, and by that point it was too late for me to sort out the video and re-upload it, because first of all, it's an hour-long video. That takes a long time to render, takes a long time to upload, plus I was out for the evening, so it just wasn't possible to fix. But I couldn't have fixed it anyway, because it turns out it was an issue with OBS. So when I record, I've got two screens. I'm looking at Minecraft right here. On my second screen I can see it again in the form of a preview for what I'm recording. So when I was playing, absolutely no FPS issues whatsoever. On my second screen, nothing wrong with OBS, it was perfectly fine, yet when it records it to a file, all of these strange stutters emerge, and I believe that's because of these shaders causing some sort of issue somewhere. So unfortunately I couldn't have done anything about it anyway. Now, I am staring over here at these cliffs, and that's because a few of you had questions about things that I've mentioned in the season. I wanted to do things with the amplified terrain, and no surprise, we ended up just playing the game mostly underground, building a base down there, which is my kind of playstyle. I love doing interiors, and I want to explain. So first of all, let's talk about a couple of the ideas I hinted at. Now, the first one, I have no idea why I never got round to doing this, because I had some help on the server building the faces of hermits. What I wanted to do was a Mount Rushmore type thing here or somewhere else, where we build the faces of the hermits into the big amplified terrain. If you've not seen Mount Rushmore, just give that a Google, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I don't know why I didn't do that. I've got no excuse for you. The other thing, I kept hinting at something I wanted to do with this bit of terrain over here, and that was actually to build a mob spawner behind all of the amplified terrain, just a vertical mob spawner that was hidden in the edge of the cliffs. And now that I talk about that, it kind of sounds a little bit silly, because it doesn't really need to be there, plus it's not on show, so it doesn't really take advantage of the amplified terrain, which is a little bit silly, right? But there you go. I'm actually kind of glad we didn't do that, because it wouldn't have been to any advantage. It would have been very novelty, and you wouldn't have even been able to see the mob spawner over there. But the plan with amplified terrain was obviously to try and take advantage of it, and a lot of us didn't. I think Cleo was probably one of the only people who really took advantage of the amplified terrain. And I'll tell you what the problem is. It looks really great, but if you can't just fly around and place blocks wherever you want, you're never going to be encouraged to build on these things, because imagine what building up there is going to take. First of all, you're going to have to build some form of transport to get up and down easily. Then you're going to be building all sorts of scaffolding to do something up there and then remove it again. It's really tedious, and amplified terrain actually kind of isolates you a little bit, I feel. Now, I've seen Efo play Minecraft, and he's actually done a really good job of getting around the amplified terrain and making that part of his base, but maybe I just didn't have the mindset to do that. I mean, I kind of settled into this little flat space between all of the amplified terrain deliberately, and so I sort of moved away from that. Yeah, so the amplified terrain kind of backfired a little bit, I feel. At least for me. Maybe talking about it now, perhaps could have done a better job. But yeah, in general, amplified terrain makes it difficult and tedious to get around, and therefore you kind of want to stick in a little space like this. Alright, if you haven't sussed it out already, we're mostly just going to be standing around the top here and talking, so if you want to look at something else while you listen to me chat on here, I don't think you're going to miss too much. So on to the second bit, talking about how the reset happened. It ended so quickly, and some of you who are got a good memory have also pointed out that in the live streams that I've done recently over on twitch.tv/xisuma, a little plug there if you don't know I do regular live streaming, I've stated over there that no, there's going to be no reset, we're going to be playing on 1.9. I've also said that in videos, a lot of you talked about this, and that was the plan. That was the plan for the longest time, to do a group project together in the end in 1.9, for a lot of us to jump back on again, go to the end and build something over there together. But about a week or two before 1.9 was coming out, the talk sort of shifted to a reset again. A lot of people expressing that they just wanted to play on a new world, and I'm the sort of person that loves to get settled in and then just do project after project. Like you've seen we've been doing, I could have kept on playing in this world for a long time, but we are part of a group and we've got to listen to what the group wants, and the group wanted a reset. So about 2 weeks to a week before 1.9 has been set to release, we sort of agreed, okay, actually maybe a reset is the way to go. And then moments later, the release of 1.9 was announced. So very abruptly it turned, and we kind of knew 1.9 was lingering, and I wanted to wrap up my passive mob farm project, and I wanted to come down here and do up the bottom area and finish the base. But I thought I had months left, and then I find out we've got a week. So it just ends abruptly like that, and there's not much more else I can say about it. So that's why things happened so abruptly. Yeah, and another thing, I got a lot of comments from people saying it's really sad because of all of this unfinished stuff in the world. Well, what I wanted to point out is look at how many things were finished. Like, you could look at the base as a whole here and say it's unfinished, but there's several floors of this thing that are finished, and loads of stuff that we have done. We built this thing over here, we built the towers, we did a load of cool projects, and there are actually many things on the server that were finished, and so, it's always going to end with something unfinished, but unfortunately with the release of 1.9 being the factor for restarting the server, it meant that as soon as that was announced, we had no time to wrap things up, which is why I felt very unmotivated to do things like clear this up. If we knew that we had like a month to prepare, then I would have just tried to wrap up as many things here as I could, make it all look good for the end of the season. But it happened abruptly, and that just kind of kills your motivation to do even the simplest little bits of tidying up. So that's kind of like my view on that right there. Okay, the third part of the discussion. I'm now once again just going to be walking around in circles in this area right here. Maybe I'll walk a little bit further around so you can see a few more things while we do that. So let's talk about what are the plans for the next season then. I've got a few comments from people saying like it's going to be really boring to watch you guys do the same thing all over again, build the same farms. And if you've watched the last couple of seasons that I've done on Hermitcraft, yes, there will always be some farms that are kind of the same deal. But I always try and do things differently and find new ways of doing stuff, and that's exactly what I want to do in 1.9. And I think 1.9 has some powerful features like dual wielding, for example, that are really going to change how you look at doing farming and how you look at projects and things that you want to do in the world. And I can't help but feel there's going to be a whole bunch of new ways to approach like different projects, and basically the projects are going to be different from ones that we've done before. So I think there's a whole bunch of new stuff to be done, which is something that I wanted to address. I don't think it's going to be the same thing over and over again, as we've got the opportunity to try things differently. Is my sound off? No, it's not. I think I've got my own speakers turned down a fair bit. Also, it seems like the sun is stuck in the sky. I think the game rule for leaving it, sunny for a time lapse has been left, so I'll fix that for the world download. Yeah, so that's one of the things about the new server. The second thing is that we have a plan. We have like a community area idea. We think it's going to be something quite unique and interesting, and the plan is to just stick around together for far longer than we have done in the past, because people branch out and do bases and then we get separated, and I think that's where some people start to lose interest. So the idea is to keep it in one area, and it's an area that I think is going to get a real unique look, like a kind of approach to building in Minecraft that you may not see too often. I mean, I don't want to like ruin anything here, but we've thought about it, we talked about it, and I reckon it's going to be pretty good. And so the other thing to mention is I got quite a few comments from people saying that, you know, the group decides when the reset is, but, you know, some people are just going to come back and then disappear after a couple of months, and that's quite likely true. I'm not going to dispute that at all. That's how it is for some people. They're very much interested in the fresh part of a Minecraft world, you know, when everything's new and there's things to be done. But for some players, they don't just see the long game, which is what people like me and False and Mumbo do. You know, we can just play on a world forever, basically. And because it's a group, you've got to compromise. You've got to do, you know, what's fair, really, for everyone. And this time around, it just, you know, the time came around, there was enough interest for a reset that it seemed like the right thing to do. So although there'll be some, you know, old faces cropping up again, and then they might go after a while, that's just kind of how it goes with resets. And I'm just looking forward to the moments where they're there and we can have some fun together in Minecraft again. So I try always to be positive about these things and not look for just the negatives, but weigh them up with some positives as well, because you could say it's a negative thing that they're going to come back and disappear, but I say it's a positive thing that they've come back for a while, because, you know, you have some fun with your old friends again in Minecraft. So I'm really looking forward to it in general. I'm going to miss this world. I am going to feel like there's some unfinished projects, but there's also loads of stuff that we achieved as well. So in general, I'm in a pretty good mood about it. I'm feeling like Season 4 can be something special, which is a good thing, of course. So there is another reason to make this video as well. There's a little bit of a tradition here on Hermitcraft. When we end a season, we get rid of something valuable. And I can't remember how we did it like the first and second seasons. I think one of them we threw away a stack of diamonds. The other one might have been a stack of diamond ore or a stack of diamond blocks. But it's something that I forgot about, and that's another good reason to do this video, because of course we want to keep up with that tradition. So I'm just going to grab some diamonds here, and then we're going to go find... Well, actually, we probably won't find a lava lake. I'll just grab a bucket of lava, and we'll say goodbye to the world. So here we go, this is how it ends. Also, a lot of you have been requesting for me to put my inventory items into a chest, so when you hop on the world, you can grab those things. Although these two right here, I don't think you'll need. So I couldn't find a lava bucket. I figured let's just chuck these diamonds onto the fire. There we go. Throwing away our diamonds. We don't need those anymore. We're going on to a new world for a new adventure. And as always, guys, thank you so much for everything. Oh, look, some of them are falling down on the side. Hope you've enjoyed the series. Hope you're looking forward to the next one. And this will actually be the last episode.